All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, former Pirate reliever, host of the Danny Beal Show, DB. Danny Beal is here. What's up, Danny?
What's up, everybody?
Tell you what, let's can we break some news for people or get some news out there? Do we finally have a Danny Beal baseball update?
Yeah, we do. I signed a contract with the Frontier League team in Kinston last week. They announced it finally, I guess, earlier today or yesterday, whenever it was. And I'm getting a bunch of texts and calls from everybody saying congrats and stuff. So I appreciate that from everybody. But excited to excited to get back out there and compete and do my thing and hopefully get a chance to get picked up here in a couple weeks.
Well, congratulations, man! Can't wait to see you play live again. That's going to be fun. So, when does the season get rolling, Danny? And when do you kind of report and begin team activities?
Yeah, that's what everybody said is like it's like you're just close to home again. Now we can all go watch you play. But
Yeah.
I'll be spring training, I guess spring training, that's what they call it. But spring training starts at the end of this month. I'll be there for good for the summer, the end of this month, last week of this month. So 28th, then we'll play the first week of May. I think the first game's like the 8th or the 9th of May. And then it's some pretty grueling travel. Like we're driving to Jersey, we're driving to Quebec, we're driving to all these kind of places. So
Whoa.
we're playing Ottawa, and I was telling my dad earlier, I'm like, hopefully they're playing playoff hockey there. I can go to a game one night when we have off or something like that. But um, no, I'm excited. But the travel's really not that big of a deal. It's what I have to do to keep playing. Then I'll keep doing it. So it doesn't really matter to me. But we'll be in Kinston for a week, on the road for a week, in Kinston for a week, on the road for a week for pretty much the entire summer. So I'm excited to get back out there and compete.
All right, keeping the dream alive. Danny, did you mention this or not? I believe I heard you'd be starting. Is that correct, or was that bad rumor?
No, your sources are right. I will be starting, so it'll be a little bit more structured. And from the people close to me that I've talked to, like my agent and other people, and just what's been the best interest for my future in terms of obviously the goal is to get picked up and play professional baseball. That starting is the best thing for me. And I mean, yeah, as you guys very well know, I haven't started since 2022, so it's been a while. I'm having to get used to like the workload and the routine and stuff like that. And I've reached out to a bunch of guys. Like I've talked to Trey, I've talked to Gavin, some of reaching out to Spivey too, just to kind of get the lay of the law, especially Spivey too, because he played in this. The y'alls are in the same league as the league I'm in, so it's kind
Right.
of he gets it in terms of training and travel and how to handle workload and stuff like that. So we're gathering all the information we can to get prepared for this.
That is awesome. Danny Beal be playing some pro baseball in the Frontier League, and we can go watch him play at historic Granger Stadium coming
Sure.
up with the new team. Are they the Kinston Bird Dogs
Down East Bird Dogs. The logo is actually
down
kind of
east?
sick. The
Okay.
logo's kind of badass. It really is. It's got like it's a like I guess a golden retriever with a dead duck in its mouth. It's kind of cool.
Well, it's the old Wood Ducks logo. They're basically eating the old logo with the
That's
new
still, I
dog.
didn't know that was the old logo. Wow. Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say logo. I should say the same type of animal. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's
For sure.
it's heavily implied. I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Danny, got that out of the way. Now some bad news.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pirates losing four in a row is bad news, but Cliff Godwin's comments pretty concerning coming off that NC State loss. He wants people to buy into this team, buy into the program, and have that belief for East Carolina, for Pirate baseball, the culture, the C word, obviously. I mean, when you hear that, what do you think? Because you were on some teams that some guys he was talking about. He said he talked to Carter Cunningham on Tuesday and misses that type of player and leadership. So how you feeling coming off those comments?
He's right. I think it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. But he's right. The leadership in that locker room needs to be better. And I think this week that following that state loss specifically, I think that there are some guys that took measures into their own hands and they had some meetings, I think, and they talked about it. And I think that they're ready to move forward with it. And I think it was one of those things where they needed a wake up call in one way or another. I think they were riding a little roller coaster there for a little bit of, hey, winners of 4 in a row. Let's celebrate and act like we're world champions. And then we're 4 games down, 4 games in a row that we've lost. Now let's jump ship, let's tank the season kind of thing. And I think they just needed to get a little bit more consistent in their preparation. I think they were playing hard. I think they were playing hard for a little bit of the wrong reasons. But I think that now that the leadership has stepped up a tick and guys have spoken up, and I think that they'll be headed in the right direction. And then it all starts this weekend in Charlotte too, so it'll be a good atmosphere for them. They're going to bring the juice for sure, and they're going to get everything back on track, I think.
I like to hear that. I hope that is correct. Just kind of look, you know way better than me, but like just because you believe or buy in or are down with the culture doesn't mean you can hit a pitch or make a routine play. Like the guy's got to be better too, right? Like there's just I don't know. Just because you buy in doesn't mean you're going to win the next 20 games. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get it, and I think Kelvin Sampson said it great the other day. Like, they have a great culture, and it starts from the top down. And part of their culture is not quitting, whether they stink or not.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the team, and part of what Coach Godwin's kind of instilled in them is like, hey, we didn't come here to knit. Like, we came here to play baseball and win baseball games. And if that's not what you guys are here for, don't show up tomorrow. I think that's one of the things that he's been very vocal about, especially on Tuesday, because I think that was kind of the iceberg for him. Is like, there was no fight, there was no intensity. I mean, Jarrett asked him, and he gave a great answer of, "No, I didn't see anything come from Sunday. Like, it just was same old, same old." And I think I was looking up a stat the other day. I saw it on Twitter. They're like 4, 5, 6 games below 500 with a crowd above 4,500 people, something like that. So I think they need to kind of, rather than shy away from the moment, embrace it. I mean, they're East Carolina for a reason. So I think, like I said, it all starts this weekend. And it's not, let's not act like it's the end of the world. Like, last year, for example, we lost because Coach Godwin and I talked briefly a couple days ago, and we lost 4 games in a row last May. I mean, we lost to USF last game of a doubleheader on Sunday, 7 innings, got our tails whipped by Duke, and then went to Tulane and got swept for 5 games in a row. So if you want to freak out now, that was in May with a team that hosted a regional. So I think the jumping off the ship thing, I understand what people are saying, because they're getting mad at the me's of the world being like, well, you last month were saying not freak out, and we're in the same position a month later. And it's like, I get that, but this is a good team. They just have to get their heads on straight, and I think they did.
Really big series this weekend, Danny. It's Charlotte. You've spent some time in that area. The 49ers and Pirates. I would say I want to have a rivalry in this conference, and if there is to be one, it's going to be Charlotte. And they've beaten us in some stuff. We've got them back a little bit, beat them in hoops this year. That was good to see. But how about the baseball? Is it a rivalry? And what kind of series will we see this weekend?
We've been back and forth with them. They came to us in a regional in 21 when they weren't in our conference, and we beat them. Last year, they got a game on Sunday when they should have won. But I mean, we know a lot of guys over there. I mean, we've at least when I was playing, we played against a lot of guys. Their head coach recruited me when he was the pitching coach at Carolina when I was in high school, so I had some disdain towards them because they didn't want me, and it was the same thing with a couple other teams. But it was, I think it's a lot of those kind of things where you want to beat the guys that you know, and you beat the guys that you play against, but it's a little bit different when it's Charlotte, just because it's their World Series, as it is for everybody in conference when they play us. And I think it's even important now that Brett's on the road too. And tomorrow night's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great atmosphere playing at the AAA park. But when you go into their house on Saturday and Sunday, you need to take care of business.
Danny Beal joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Danny, you got anybody in the Masters? You following any golfers these next 4 days?
I appreciate greatness, so I like Scotty. I want Scotty to win. But I like Bryson just because of the YouTube stuff he does. I've appreciated that. I think Rory's got a good chance. He's playing really, really well. Sepp Straka is playing really well. Morikawa's playing well. Russell Henley. I think Russell Henley's got a good chance just because, like, and that, Augusta's a very finesse course. Like, you can't beat Bryson and just bomb drives the whole time and expect success. I think Russell Henley's been scrambling really well lately, so I think he's got a good chance. But it's the Masters. You'll have like the last 6 years. It's been what Scotty, DJ Tiger, who am I missing? John
John
Rahm, and then
Rahm,
you'll have like the random winners of like the what's the dude that won a couple years ago? Patrick something.
Patrick Reed,
Patrick Reed, or like those kind of
Danny
guys.
Willett.
Danny Willett, right? Random years where they just win. So I think it'll be hopefully it's one of those years. But I would like Scotty to win for sure.
All right, Danny Beal joining us. Man, the Danny Beal Marathon Show is available for you folks to check out. We've been airing some of those on Pirate Radio as well. But man, that was awesome, DB. You caught up with almost all the guys involved in professional baseball now that went to East Carolina. So still trying to get through all those interviews. Folks can watch it on YouTube, download it, or check it out on our airwaves. But again, that had to be a cool thing to put together for you.
Yeah, we missed out on a couple guys due to scheduling stuff, but overall, like talking to Gavin was awesome. Norby was awesome. Norby's obviously still with the team and traveling and training with them. But Trey started 2 days ago, and we were messing with him yesterday on FaceTime. AK and I, where he walked like 6 guys in like 30 2/3 innings, messing with him. But Carter's up in Vancouver. His little clip, it was a little longer, so we made it separate. His drop today. It was good to catch up with those guys, especially some of the ones I haven't heard from in a while. Same with you guys. I mean, Lord knows you guys haven't heard from Landon Ginn or Tyler Broad or Eric Ritchie.
And I had to get you on this show because we had to interview you since you're a pro baseball player now.
Yeah, as far as you know, we're not. The goal has not been accomplished, but it's certainly a step forward.
Foot in the door. All right, DB. Thanks for joining us, man. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you again soon.
No problem, guys. Good to talk to you.